Raquel Welch, Fantastic Voyage star, has died at age 82. Raquel Welch, a veteran actress who rose to fame in the 1960s in the films 1 Million Years BC and Fantastic Voyage, has died, according to a statement provided by her manager, Steve Sauer. She was 82. Welch died Wednesday morning in Los Angeles after a brief illness, the statement said. The actress, with more than 70 film and television credits, got her start as a spokesmodel on a variety show, Hollywood Palace, and had a small role in the Elvis Presley film Roustabout in 1964. Her career took off 2 years later with the release of the science fiction film Fantastic Voyage, about a team of scientists shrunken and injected into a critically ill man's body, and 1 Million BC, a prehistoric drama that casts Welch as the cave woman Loana, and the photos of her in a fur bikini becoming a foundation of the movie's marketing campaign, while turning Welch into an international symbol. The poster later became a central device in the acclaimed movie The Shawshank Redemption. Welch's career in TV and film spanned decades. A number of starring roles for Welch followed in the late 1960s, including the westerns Bandolero and 100 Rifles, the latter notable for the then controversial international love scene with former football star Jim Brown. In 1967, following the instant success of Fantastic Voyage and 1 Million Years BC, Welch starred as Lillian Lust in Bedazzled, a film that was later remade in 2000, starring Elizabeth Hurley and Brendan Fraser. The Chicago-born actress went on to star as Constance Bonacieux in the 1973 movie The Three Musketeers. Welch won a Best Actress Golden Globe Award for her performance and reprised her role as Bonacieux in the 1974 sequel, The Four Musketeers: Milady's Revenge. Other notable roles for Welch include the titular role in 1970's Mara Breckenridge, in which she played a trans actress. In the 90s, Welch appeared in various sitcoms, including Seinfeld, where she played herself as a nod to the legendary diva she had become. Welch also appeared in Spin City, Evening Shade, and Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Welch's iconic roles continued into the turn of the century. The Hollywood legend appeared in 2001's Legally Blonde alongside Reese Witherspoon and portrayed Miss Wyndham Vandermark, ex-wife of the late Hayworth Wyndham, whose murder Witherspoon's Elle Woods helped solve. As the momentum pushed forth for Welch, the moniker also continued to stick around. It is very flattering and it does help you get success in the business, but only to a point, Welch said in an interview with Cinema.com around the release of her 2001 film Tortilla Soup, adding that it does cloud people's imagination. They just can't see you being able to do anything else. Welch's financial professional credit came in 2017, where the icon starred as Rosa, the mother-in-law of a single dad, in UPTV's Date My Dad. Welch also dedicated time to a career as an entrepreneur, which included jewelry, skincare, and wig lines. The star leaves behind her 2 children, son Damon Welch and her daughter Tani Welch, according to her manager's statement. Welch was born as Jo Raquel Tejeda on September 5, 1940 in Chicago, Illinois. She was the first child of Armando Carlos Tejeda Urquizo and Josephine Sarah Hall. Her father, Armando Tejeda, was an aeronautical engineer from La Paz, Bolivia, son of Agustin Tejeda and Raquel Urquizo. In 2010, while she was being interviewed on the talk show Tavis Smiley, Welch stated, "My father came from a country called Bolivia. He was of Spanish descent. Her cousin, Bolivian politician Lydia Geller Tejeda, became the first female president of Bolivia and the second female non-royal head of state in the Americas. Welch was named after her paternal grandmother. Her mother, Josephine Hall, was the daughter of architect Emery Stanford Hall and his wife, Clara Louise Adams. She was of English ancestry. Welch had a younger brother, James Jim Tejeda, and a younger sister, Gail Tejeda. The family moved from Illinois to San Diego, California, when Welch was 2 years old. Welch attended the Pacific Beach Presbyterian Church every Sunday with her mother. As a young girl, Welch had the desire to be a performer and entertainer. She began studying ballet at age 7, but after 10 years of study, she left the art at 17 when her instructor told her she did not have the right body type for professional ballet companies. At age 14, she won beauty titles as Miss Photogenic and Miss Contour. While attending La Jolla High School, she won the title of Miss La Jolla and the title of Miss San Diego, the fairest of the fair at the San Diego County Fair. This long line of beauty contests eventually led to the state title of Maid of California. Her parents divorced when she finished her school years. Welch graduated with honors from high school in 1958. Seeking an acting career, she entered San Diego State College on a theater arts scholarship, and the following year, she married her high school sweetheart, James Welch. She won several parts in local theater productions. In 1959, she played the title role in the Ramona Pageant, a yearly outdoor play at Hemet, California, which is based on the novel Ramona by Helen Hunt Jackson. In 1960, Welch got a job as a weather presenter at KFMB, a local San Diego television station. Because her family life and television duties were so demanding, she decided to give up her drama classes. After her separation from James Welch, she moved with her 2 children to Dallas, where she made a precarious living as a model for Neiman Marcus and as a cocktail waitress. 1963 to 1966, early works and breakthrough. Welch initially intended to move to New York City from Dallas, but moved back to Los Angeles in 1963 and started applying for roles with film studios. During this period of time, she met one-time child actor and Hollywood agent Patrick Curtis, who became her personal and business manager. They developed a plan to avoid Welch's typecasting as a Latina. He convinced her to use her husband's last name. She was cast in small roles in 2 films, A House Is Not a Home, 1964, and the musical Roustabout, 1964, an Elvis Presley film. She also landed small roles on the television series Bewitched, McHale's Navy, and The Virginian, and appeared on the weekly variety series The Hollywood Palace as a billboard girl and presenter. She was one of many actresses who auditioned for the role of Mary Ann Summers on the television series Gilligan's Island. Welch's first featured role was in the beach film A Swinging Summer, 1965. That same year, she won the Deb Star while her photo in a Life magazine layout called The End of the Great Girl Drought created buzz around town. She was noticed by the wife of producer Saul David, who recommended her to 20th Century Fox, where with the help of Curtis, she landed a contract. She agreed to a 7-year, non-exclusive contract, 5 pictures over the next 5 years, and 2 floaters. Studio executives talked about changing her name to Debbie. They thought Raquel would be hard to pronounce. She refused their request. She wanted her real name, so she stuck with Raquel Welch. She was cast in a leading role in the sci-fi film Fantastic Voyage, 1966, in which she portrayed a member of a medical team that is miniaturized and injected into the body of an injured diplomat with the mission to save his life. The film was a hit and made her a star. Fox Studio loaned Welch to Hammer Studios in Britain, where she starred in 1 Million Years BC, 1966, a remake of the Hal Roach film 1 Million BC, 1940. Her only costume was a 2-piece deerskin bikini. She was described as wearing mankind's first bikini, and the fur bikini was described as a definitive look of the 1960s. The New York Times hailed her in its review of the film, which was released in the UK in 1966 and in the US in 1967, a marvelous breathing monument to womankind. One author said, although she had only 3 lines in the film, her luscious figure in a fur bikini made her a star and the dream girl of millions of young moviegoers. A publicity still of her in the bikini became a best-selling poster and turned her into an instant pinup girl. The film raised Welch's stature as a leading of the era. In 2011, Time listed Welch's BC bikini in the top 10 bikinis in pop culture. In 1966, Welch starred with Marcello Mastroianni in the Italian film Shoot Loud, Louder, I Don't Understand for Joe E. Levine. The same year, she appeared in the film as Elena in the segment Fata Elena. She was the only American in the cast of the anthology film The Oldest Profession 1967. Her segment was directed by Michael Feigar. In Italy, she also appeared in a heist film for MGM, The Biggest Bundle of Them All 1968. She co-starred Edward G. Robinson, who said of Welch, "I must say, she has quite a body. She has been the product of a good publicity campaign. I hope she lives up to it because a body will only take you so far." Raquel Welch, Hollywood actress, last message before she died. "I wonder if that's how darkness wins, by convincing us to trap it inside ourselves instead of emptying it out. I don't want it to win.